Uh, Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
So, what do you have on Monday? Do you have anything else to do after the sessions on Monday, this coming day? Are you guys occupied with something?
Not at the moment, sir, but we've just received an email tomorrow about the introduction to clubs, so I expect the applications and all to open by then.
Okay, but
I'm not
tomorrow, right?
sure.
Tomorrow, right? Not
Yes,
for
tomorrow,
Monday.
but not Monday.
Huh. So, we are planning to have a quiz, the first quiz of this course on Monday. So, so I'm just intimating you. Just keep on checking your Moodle account. It is going to be a quiz with the window would be only 15 minutes and you will get only 10 minutes to write the quiz, right? So I'm again going to share this with the entire class because only 33 students have joined and others are joining in the meantime. Just sharing with you. And I'm also going to upload the next case, that is Camelite Incorporation. So I will upload that today and you are expected to read that on Monday because we are behind by one session for section in B because I was on leave this Wednesday. So we have a session now on Monday. I hope all of you are aware about it, right? Right? All of you are?
We got a mail about that.
Yes, yes, yes. Also, the PhD students are aware about this, right? I hope they have joined and they know this. Fine. It's 9 o'clock. I think we should start discussing. Anyways, the initial part is not going to be like that much important. It is very straightforward. So tell me what is really happening in this case. If someone could throw some light on what is this case about and what are the facts of this case. This is a very straightforward case. Yes.
So, so she was earlier working for a previous company, but then, however, thanks to the dot-com bubble, it got shuttered. So she decided to, because of her skill set, she decided to start her own company. However, she did not have a accounting background, and hence she couldn't figure out how the process of her sales is and whether her business is profitable because things got transferred into accounts that she did not recognize, which were not cash, and hence
Right,
it
right.
became difficult to recognize.
So I hope all of you are able to follow him, what he is saying, right? This is a very straightforward case. So there is nothing to add from my end in terms of information about background information about this business, right? She lost job in twice in last 6 months. That is the story. She was working for a couple of firms and she lost the job, and then she decided to put all her money and also borrow from her father and put that money into the business, started her own business. She has a degree from Massachusetts College of Art. That is also something not really relevant for solving the case, at least. That is just the background information, right? What is so unique about this case? This is a very simple case. If someone else could participate, then I could ask Sarthak maybe, right? If others could also join in and tell me. I have started talking, on time because this background information does not really add value to the question in terms of solving, right? So that's why I started early, or rather on time, and others are joining. So please, others, please tell me what is so unique about this case. What is so classical about this case? If someone could participate, please. Hello. Others can listen to me or not? Are you getting my voice?
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So please, someone. I hope you need to get used to this, right? In Nirma, you are expected when I'm telling you to come prepared. At least for case studies, you come prepared. Otherwise, it won't be like. Otherwise, it would be like teaching in a. I don't know, schools or something, right? Yes, please, please. You can.
So we are really sorry. So actually we had so many assignments this week. That is why we couldn't prepare for this. So
But
I think
Hitendra,
we'll get high.
this is only a two page case, beta. It does not have any significant
Sir,
information in terms of right. I mean, even if you read once, I think Sarthak and others would agree with me that even if you read once, there is nothing so unique in terms of background information. That is what I'm asking. Anyways, see, what is so unique about this case, as far as I understand, is that she does not have an accounting background, but she does not. So, but you, all of you, even if you go for marketing, HR, anyways, all of you are business students, but fine. But you all are expected to understand finance and accounting, and that is what I am emphasizing upon since I started teaching remedial sessions, right? So you know what happened with her? She doesn't know where the cash is going and why the cash balance has reduced to 5,400 from 12,000 rupees. You see, even when she is running the business, that is her business and it's a very small business, she does not know from where how the hell this 12,000 became 5,400, and she thought that she is doing a wonderful job. So this is a classical case to understand that the accounting is different than I mean, at least in terms of recording the transaction, it is different than you imagine cash, right? Because cash is different, and when you record the transactions in the books of account, it is different, right? So that's what it is. Anyone has any questions, or shall we go to the practical part of the question, right away? Manas, please help me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Shall
sir.
shall we go on? And you can see the Excel file, right? Can you see the Excel file?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this just like the last question, because all of us have practiced how to record transaction on accounting equation. I'm not explaining one more time. It's a simple statement, simple equation with two sides, assets and liability plus equity. For assets, I have already added columns. And for equity, there are two columns. So in this question, we have two columns. One is capital and second is retained earnings. And there are columns for liabilities. I hope all of you agree with me. I mean, because I had also shared the template with you, or the photo of the template with you yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what are we going to do now is that we are going to prepare the initial balance sheet, or rather prepare the balance sheet as on July 2nd, when she has purchased all the assets and she has used up all the cash. And then we are going to prepare or we are going to solve this question on accounting equation for the month of July and August. So let us start reading the question. I think we can start from the paragraph 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph. Yes. So yes, the first transaction is that she has transferred all her savings, that is $30,000, to a new bank account with the company name. What is the entry for that? Can someone help me understand? How do I record this? Randomly, I should ask, or you are going to participate on your own, please?
The cash account debit to capital.
Cash account debit, but let us understand from the viewpoint of equation beta. I know you guys must be very good in debit and credit, but fine. But how do I record it here? So cash will go up by
Yes, sir.
30,000.
30.
And at the same time, what would happen? Because she's bringing the capital into the business, the capital column or the capital column would go up by 30,000. So it's a simple transaction. Two sides are increasing by the same amount. So equation has to match, right? The next is borrow. So if you look at the second line, she has borrowed 20,000 from her father, right? What is the entry for that? Yes.
We will increase 20,000 in borrowings in the cash and bank.
Can you be a bit louder, beta, if I ask you?
So we will increase cash and bank 20,000,
Huh?
and also the loan from father by 20,000.
Right, so I have already prepared the column, so it makes my life so much easier. Right, you can also have columns, and so when you are practicing, right, you can have extra columns. So you do not give it a name, and when you are solving the transaction, you give it a name when you find a transaction which affects a particular account, right? The next transaction is really interesting, that she has paid. After that, yes, if someone could help me understand the next transaction, that yes, it is about rent. What is happening about rent? Tell me, Sarthak, if you could help me.
Yes, sir. So rent is being paid. One second. I don't have the transaction open with me right now.
Fine, fine.
So cash will go
could
down
you
by
just tell me?
3,000
Cash will go down by 3,000. Okay.
and
Yes. Please carry on. Please carry on.
prepaid rent would go down by 5,000.
Okay. Let me ask someone else. See, why prepaid rent would go down, if I may ask you, Sarthak? I think Sarthak was not Sarthak.
Sir, may I?
Yes. Please participate. Harsh, please participate.
Sir, first of all, from case we deduct the August rent of 3,000 rupees.
Not August month, right? See, there are two information given to you. You have paid in advance. You have paid 1 month rent in advance, right, as a deposit or whatever you call it. And then again, you are paying 3,000 for the month of July. And when we are preparing recording these transactions, we are recording these transactions before the July month. So you can imagine that we are recording these transactions in June. So in fact, 3,000 plus 3,000, the rent for July, both are prepaid rent.
Prepaid rent 6,000.
6,000. So because we are paying in upfront, 6,000 cash and bank would go down. At the same time, the prepaid rent would go up by 6,000. I hope all of you agree upon this. Now, accounting students may have a query that, why don't we have another account for security deposit, right? Let us treat everything as prepaid rent. If you look at the case, the balance sheet that the case has given specifically says that they have treated this both as prepaid rent. So let us go with the case. Let us go with the flow. Prepaid rent is 6,000 rupees. I hope anyone has any questions, please. Hello?
No, sir.
Yes. So the next transaction now is she has ordered office supplies and stationery worth rupees 5,000 on June 29. That is before starting the business, right? So what is going to be the entry?
Cash and bank will be reduced by 5,000 and office
So you
supplies
are
will increase by 5,000.
wonderful. So a lot of students are joining late. I do not know why. So cash and bank will go down by 5,000. Very good. And at the same time, you are buying office supplies. So that is 5,000, right? Very good. Is there anything else we are missing here? I think I added in the wrong column. Yeah. Yes. Anything else we are missing in this? There is another information that is given that she purchased some used computer equipment with software from her last employer and ordered stationery. So she has also purchased computer equipment with software, but the price is not given. Can someone tell me what is the price? The equipment is purchased by the business for cash, I think. Yes.
So in all, she has spent
27,000, sir.
27,000. Yes, 27,000. That is also given in the initial balance sheet. So initial balance sheet is already given. That is just for practice we are doing. So we have purchased office equipment, equipment and software for 27,000. So this is where we stand in terms of opening balance sheet, right? Opening balance sheet. What is opening balance sheet? Can someone tell me? Hello, please.
for the balance sheet on the first of the financial year.
So when you start your business, you buy assets, you buy various assets, and you also, because you are investing in your business, you also bring equity sometimes, and you also borrow loans. So this is the standing when you started the business on July 2nd. I think you opened the business on July 2nd. Now, if you have read the question in this case, you are expected to prepare or record these transactions for the month of July and August. So according to the periodicity concept, that's why I told you to read this concepts before coming to the class, that all the transactions as per the accrual concept falling into the month of July and August are going to be recorded. That is why periodicity concept is really important, right? So all the transactions, that could be income, that could be expenses, that could be assets, liabilities, whatever, right? The transactions are going to be recorded in the books of account for the month of July and August, in the books of July and August, right? Okay. Yes. So now how we proceed? Let us go to the second page. The list of transactions are given to us. Yes. So the first transaction is, guys, the number. So yes. Hello.
So the first transaction will be clients paid 40,000 for a complete work.
Okay. So what is 40,000, guys? You have understand the
cash.
business.
Sales.
It's a sales.
Revenue, sir.
It's a revenue, right? And it is a cash revenue because you are receiving cash for this, right?
Yes.
So this is your business. Understand? She is a web designer, right? And for that, she is generating revenue. So 40,000 has been paid by the client for completed work. So that is 40,000. So I will record this 40,000 cash increasing, and at the same time,
Also, sir, the opening balance of 12,000.
sorry. Hello.
Sir, the opening balance of 12,000.
It is already
Should we
there. You
have to
see,
consider this? Okay.
it is already there. You see. So what I have done, I have recorded the transactions before the business has started. So this is where we stand in terms of opening balance sheet. If you see the highlighted row, this is where we stand when we started the business. We have 12,000 cash, we have 27,000 worth of equipment, we have 5,000 worth of office supplies, we have 6,000 worth of prepaid rent. At the same time, 50,000 worth of assets are there. At the same time, 30,000 is funded by us and 20,000 is funded by your father, the father of Maria, right? Yes.
Yes.
So yes. So how are we going to record this? So for equity, we have two columns. We have capital and retained earnings, right? So all the revenues and expenses we are going to incorporate in the column retained earnings. That is how we are going to record in this case. So 40,000 is the revenue. Tell me what happens when you receive revenue? It increases equity or decreases equity?
Increases.
It increases
Increases.
equity, just like the last case, right? Last question, right? So I'm adding to 40,000 in the cash column as well as retained earnings column. Yes. And there is another information that two clients still owed a total of 7,000 for the work that had been completed and delivered to them. So how do we record this? Yes.
So account
Accounts
receivable.
receivable.
Account receivable.
Receivables.
So again, this is a revenue, but the money hasn't been received, right? The money hasn't been received. So how are we going to record this? It is still a revenue. Why it is a revenue? Because we are following accrual concept. Cash is received or not doesn't matter. If we have provided services and if there is a promise from the customer side, it has to be recorded as revenue. So 7,000 will increase, not the cash and bank balance. I'm sorry, I will add that in the accounts receivables column, 7,000. And at the same time, it will also increase by revenue. So retained earnings would go up by 7,000. Fine, guys, everyone is able to follow this, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you now. Yes, please. Hello. Yes. So let me ask you now for the second transaction. Yes. How do we proceed? Tell me. Let me ask individually. Akshi, I think Akshi. I cannot read the full name. Akshi Jayendra Surve, please.
Yes, sir.
The second transaction, please.
Additional office supplies have been bought for cash of 900.
Hmm.
So the cash will reduce by 900.
Okay,
And
let us go very slow. Let us go very slow because others are also supposed to follow this. Cash would go down by 900. Wonderful. Then next.
and office supplies account will go up by 900.
Right. So see, for every transaction there is a duality, right? You can see that. And now please also understand that the office supplies you have right now is 5,000 you had purchased before you started the business. When you started the business, and 900 you have additionally purchased. So now you have office supplies worth of 5,900. Please follow this because this is an interesting information. Now, let us how do we deal with the second part of the same transaction? Let me ask Apurva, there is some information given in the second half of the same information, same transaction. Please, if you could help me understand. Apurva, please. Apurva Kumar, yes. Apurva Kumar, please. Okay, so Apurva, what to do with the second part, beta?
Sir, his mic is not working.
But he will participate in the chat. But he has typed something. That's why I'm asking in the chat box. If you could chat, beta, what is going to happen? Okay, you mentioned that in the chat box. I will ask someone else. See, sometimes when you are using any OS, doesn't matter. When you are using this on PC, sometimes you are required to. I know all of you would be much more smarter than me in terms of using computers, but sometimes you are supposed to navigate between the options you have for audio, right? For mic and speakers. So because in Windows and as well as other computer systems, we have multiple options for selecting what kind of input you want. That navigating through input may also help you sometimes. You may feel that your mic is not working because it has got corrupted or something, but that is not the case. You just need to change the hardware that you want to use for using the mic, right? Yes. Let me ask Baumil, what to do with this transaction, beta? If you could start your camera and answer, please. Baumil, please. Baumil Patel, please.
Hello.
Baumil, yes.
Sir, the second part of second transaction, right?
Yes.
The office supplies and stationery that had cost of 4,200 were still on hand, means it's the balance.
Okay. Yes. So how are we going to record this, beta? Yes. Remember, you have 5,000 worth of office supplies. You have purchased additional 900. So now you have office supplies of 5,900. Next, tell me, please.
The balance of office supplies will increase.
Okay. 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 Good attempt. Good attempt. I'll come back to you, or please listen to this answer. I'll ask someone else. Dishant, if you could participate, beta. Dishant. Dishant Ji. Dishant Jain. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
The office supply stationery. Stationery cost 4,200 still, and means the 4,200 we are outstanding to pay.
Okay. Okay. So you remember
Creditors.
you remember. See, don't say that, because see, if you remember that office supplies we had purchased before as well as office supplies we have purchased now worth of 900, both of them are paid for cash. If you see the duality, I will just show you. I will just zoom in. If you could see this, you see 5,000 is purchased, 5,000 are paid. 900 is purchased, 900 are paid. So all this is already purchased. You have already incurred cash for this. You have already paid for this, understand? So let us not comment upon whether the money has to be paid or not, because these are already purchased. Yes, hello.
Sir,
Yes.
1700. Sir, 1700 of office supplies we have consumed.
So what is going to happen? Yes, what is going to be the treatment for this? Yes. Okay. Yes. Your voice is no. I mean, I cannot hear you.
Sir, hello.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, office supplies will go down by 1700.
Okay.
And the next I can't actually say it. Like revenue will increase by 1700.
So see, your business.
So expense will increase by 1700. Like we
who is this?
reduce it from the retained earnings.
Who is this? Baumil is there? Harsh is there, na?
Harsh. Yes,
See,
sir.
you remember the concept of expenditure and expense, right? Let's say I'm sitting in this classroom using ACs and all this. So you may have purchased this AC maybe this year or maybe next year, right? Last year, right? So when I'm purchasing this AC every year, I'm consuming the AC, and the consumption of AC becomes expense. Similarly, when you are purchasing office supplies, they are current assets, but when they are consumed, because you also required office supplies to run your business, these are expenses. So
Yes,
the
sir.
expenditure became expense, asset became expense. Because
Yes,
I cannot ignore this fact when I'm running a business. I cannot ignore this as an expense when I'm running the business. Matching concept. All the expenses that are incurred to earn a revenue has to be recorded, has to be incorporated when you calculate profit for that period, right? So office supplies are used. So you are given 4,200 balance, right? So out of 5,900, that is 5,900. 4,200 is available. So 1,700 must have been used during this period. The calculation part is already given there. So I will record this as expenses in the retained earnings column, because that is reflecting the expenses and income. Incomes are positive, expenses are negative, and it is also reducing my office supplies. So you see the duality is getting completed because there is negative side on both the side, right? So it has to equate. The equation has to match, right? I hope everyone was able to follow this. Hello.
Actually, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, will like still on hand was like bit confusing for me, sir. So like,
what part, beta? Okay, Manas. I think Manas is the.
sir,
Can you
sir,
repeat once?
Which part?
sir, I was telling that
The 1700 part.
See,
sir, sir, actually, I will tell my problem, sir. To comprehend the like the where still on hand part, I was like confused on that part, but now I
So-
got that. But sir,
Okay.
what should be a general approach like to for other questions as well, sir?
The same approach. Whenever you are having an asset and when you are using the asset, the value of the asset reduces, right? So the reduction in the value may be called amortization, may be called consumption, may be called depreciation, doesn't matter. It is an expense, because you cannot run your business without using those assets. So when you are using the assets, value goes down, and the reduction in the value is expense, right? Ask yourself this simple thing, beta, right? Let's say you are running a business, Manas. Let's say you are running a business of you are running a merchandising business, right? And for running the merchandising business, you have purchased, let's say, let me take the example of printing pages, and let's say printing pages cost is 10,000 rupees, right? 10,000 rupees for 10,000 pages, just for simplicity, right? During this year, 1 year period, or 1 month period, doesn't matter. For accounting period, let's say out of this 10,000 pages, you have used 4,000 pages for your business. What are you going to do? It is lying as an asset in your current asset column, right? Can you really have a business without accommodating this as an expense? No, you cannot, because you need to print pages for your customers, you need to issue a bill, and what not, right? So you cannot ignore this expense. So all the expenses that you have incurred to earn a revenue, that could be a 1 rupee expense, or that could be an expense of maybe $1 million, doesn't matter, all are expenses. I hope, Pradyuman, are you able to follow this? Right, Manas, is it clear now? Imagine that. See, when the customer is paying to you, right? Customer is paying to you, right? Are you going to ignore all the small expenses? No, you are not going. You may not record that materiality. You may not show them separately sometimes when the expenses are too small, right? But you will record them as a miscellaneous expenses. All of them put together, right? Makes sense, right? So I hope all of you are able to follow. Please ask me question, because
Sir, sir.
yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. Why expense would be on the asset side? Tell me, what is my equation format? The equation format is assets are equal to equity plus liability, and equity represents capital and retained earnings, and retained earnings represent the retained earnings till date plus the retained earnings.
I got it.
Okay, retained earnings. Sometimes, if you are a commerce student, sometimes the teachers, when they are teaching accounting equation, they transfer the expense on the asset side. But we are not following that format. I hope you are not falling into that trap, right? It is just an equation like this. The incomes and expenses with the sign they carry are recorded in retained earnings column, right? I'll just, there is a lot of students joining and leaving. I don't know why. Fine. So I hope, yes, Shreya, please ask me. Yes, Shreya.
So shouldn't the amount be 800, because the amount we already had in our hand was 4,200, and the office supplies which were purchased additional were 900, right?
No, understand this way, that see, all this information is available to accumulated information. Focus on the word accumulated word, right? So this information is available to her on the last day of August, you can say July, after August is completed. So if I'm saying that I have 4,200 in hand, that must be obviously including 900 as well, right? When I say that I have purchased worth of 900, and now after 900 I have 4,200 worth of supplies with me, 1,700 must have been used, right? This is just a mathematical issue. Understand that when I say 900 worth of supplies I have purchased, and I have 4,200 left now, obviously I'm including 900. Obviously, it is just a communication this thing, right? Hello, Shreya, fine, beta? Yeah. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I got the part that the asset side will have the minus 1,700 on the office supply section, but I didn't get how will we balance that.
So you look at the other side, equity side, I have deducted from retained earnings, that is as an expense, right? Because when the asset has been used, Pradyuman, asset has been used, that asset will become an expense, right? When the asset is consumed, the value of the asset has gone down, and when the value of the asset has gone down, the reduction in the value of the asset is nothing but the expense, right? Because you cannot really have a business, run a business. Can you have a earnings or income without this expense, without using this office supplies, right? Fine.
Yes, sir, I understand the expense part. So will we enter the expense below retained earnings?
So initially I said that equity is made up of two columns in this question. In the last question, we had done everything in the equity column. See, I cannot give you the comprehensive income statement balance sheet to everyone at the one go, because we are teaching in the class of engineering students, commerce students, and a lot of other background students. With all due respect, they may not know this. So I need to go slowly. And see, at the end of the day, I am also telling you indirectly one thing, that income statement is a subset of balance sheet. Always remember that. Income statement is a subset of balance sheet. So balance sheet is over and above everything, and then income statement every year it is like SGPA, but at the end of the day you want CGPA, right? You want to achieve certain CGPA, right? So SGPA is also important, but then it makes your CGPA. So similarly, all your performances makes your position. That is also very important, right? So retained earnings will capture incomes and expenses. Incomes are positive, expenses are negative. Fine, Pradyuman? Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, got it.
Yes. Please, others have asked question, beta. Please.
Sir, could you move your mouse one second?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And could you also show us which question you're on? It's a little confusing with all the figures right now on the sheet.
Which can you see now?
Yeah, which question are we solving? The second one or third one?
The information you are saying. Third.
Yeah, information.
Now we are on to the third. We are done
right,
till
thank
second. You. Yes.
All
We are
right,
done
thank you
till.
so much.
I hope you are able to follow this now, right? Okay, Sarthak, fine. The next transaction is also very important. Yes, please. I want to ask someone because this has some level of understanding. And we may have a discussion on this because accounting students and commerce students may record this differently. So I want to understand their point of view. Akash, maybe Akash? Akash Patel, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, how do we go about this third transaction, please?
Sir, here we have the rent for the month of August and September. Sir, 6,000 rupees. Sir, but in this accounting period, we will record the rent for only August month.
Okay.
And sir, utilities and.
Okay, that is fine. Just focus on the first rent part, beta, first. Yogesh, would you like to join, beta? Yogesh, let me look at your surname also. Yogesh Goyalji, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, we will record rent of 6,000 as an expense, and 3,000 will be prepaid rent of the month of September.
Okay. So understand this, guys. Initially we had recorded the rent as prepaid rent entirely, if you remember. Right? Initially, if you remember, before we started the business, we recorded the rent as prepaid rent. Because we had not even started the business, and so 3,000 was security deposit and 3,000 rent was paid for the month of July, and the July had not even come yet. Now we are preparing this financial statement because I do not have an accounting background. And see, people, accountants don't prepare balance sheet and income statement every day, right? You can capture because of Tally and a lot of good softwares. You can extract the financial information anytime you want, but you don't do that every day, anyways, right? So now she has got the time because her father has asked her, where do you stand in terms of your business? I have given you 20,000 rupees and you have used up your $30,000, right? What you have done with this $50,000? So she was like, I have 5,400 cash, but I don't know how this cash is now 5,400 from 12,000, because she does not have an accounting background. She does not know what, and that's why we are doing this. In fact, we are doing this for her, right? Because she does not have a background in accounting. So now we are preparing the financial statements after August month end. That is the question, right? So understand this way. That 6,000 rent was already paid, prepaid rent, right? And now again we are paying 6,000 prepaid rent, right? So let us go slowly. Let us go very slow. Let us focus on the cash part. How much rent we are paying right now? 6,000 rent we are paying?
6,000. But 6,000 rent was already paid, so cash shouldn't go down, right?
But you are again paying 6,000, Sarthak. Sarthak was there, I think, right? Please read the question.
Yeah, it was prepaid rent, right? Since you've already prepaid it, shouldn't it be going down from there?
No. So prepaid is only for September month.
Okay, my bad.
Understand. When we are.
Yes, sir, it is already used, that prepaid rent.
Just a second, let me complete what I'm saying. It's really nice to see a lot of point of views and a lot of answers. Good. Understand, focus on cash part right now. How much cash is going out? We are not using accrual concept yet, because accrual concept focuses our focus is on accrual concept only when we are preparing income statement and balance sheet, of course, right? And a lot of other transactions. Okay. But how much cash has gone out? Tell me. 6,000 cash has gone out during this 2 months period, of course. So the cash has to go down by 6,000. That is very much sure. I think Simran Deep Singh is also right. Fine, Simran Deep. 6,000 has gone down, right? Wonderful. Now understand that 6,000 rent let us for the sake of simplicity ignore that 3,000 deposit. Let us say that the 6,000 rent was already paid, or even if you assume that 3,000 as security deposit and 3,000 as rent for the month of July. In this 6,000, 3,000 rent is paid for the month of August and 3,000 rent is paid for the month of September, right? So out of the 6,000, please focus on this. Please focus on this. This 6,000 prepaid rent was there. Out of that, 3,000 was security deposit and 3,000 was the rent of July. Right? Hello? Follow this. Out of 6,000, 3,000 was security.
Yes, sir.
And 3,000 is the rent for the month of July. Right? So out of the 6,000, can I say out of the 6,000, 3,000 would become expense because the asset is becoming expense now because the expense is due now 3,000. Can I say that?
Yes.
Hello? Yes.
Yes.
And
Obviously.
so July month rent is was included in prepaid rent, but July month has elapsed, so I can say 3,000 would become expense. In addition to that, 3,000 you have paid rent during July and August for the month of August and September. So August month also been paid. So in totality, the expense is 6,000 because 3,000 was paid before the business was started and 3,000 is paid during this July and August month, right? Right. And at the same time, what is going to be the duality? Tell me.
3,000 for this balance rent.
3,000 is increased in prepaid side
Prepaid.
of September.
Okay. So whether this amount is going to change or not, tell me. This amount is not going to change because I am going to write like this. Just understand what I'm doing. 3,000 is going to become expense, and then 3,000 is going to again become asset because I am paying for the month of September also.
Yes.
So the effect would be zero.
Here's
Are you
what
able to follow this? Out of
Yes,
the
I got it.
6,000, 3,000 became expense, and then again 3,000 you have paid for the month of September. So 3,000 again added as a prepaid rent. So the net effect is zero. So 6,000 cash has gone out, and the expense is 6,000. The rent expense for the month of July and August. Please look at this and ask me question because this is a bit different.
Again, please.
Yes, yes.
Sir, can you explain it again, please?
Sure, beta. Sure. See, how much is prepaid rent? Please, you only participate, beta. Who was there?
Sir Shreya.
Shreya, please. How much was prepaid rent, beta, before you started the business?
Sir, 6,000.
6,000. After July and August, out of the 6,000, how much became expense?
Sir,
3,000 because only July month rent was paid. 3,000 was security deposit, right? So 3,000 is already lying there, right? So out of the 6,000, 3,000 became expense. So right, so I'm going to deduct from the asset. You can see that here 3,000 asset got reduced by 3,000. At the same time, during this transaction, during this event, you are paying rent for the month of September. So again, the prepaid rent, prepaid. Yes, Shreya.
I do not understand this point. Why are we deducting only 3,000? Because for the month of August, the rent is already due, right?
Right. So out of the 6,000, but you remember the breakup of 6,000? What was the breakup of 6,000? This initial 6,000?
3,000 for July and 3,000 for August.
Is that so? Read that paragraph clearly. It says that there is a security deposit and of 3,000. 1 month salary is security deposit, and 3,000 is the rent for the month of July. That is the information. If you read that paragraph, fourth paragraph, it says that 3,000 is security deposit and 3,000 is for the month of July. And if you read this third transaction, it says very clearly that the rent for August and September has been paid. So when you say August and September rent is paid in this third transaction, that means the August and September rent must have been paid during this 2 months time, July and August, right? Go very slow when you are thinking about this. So the breakup of the 6,000 is that the 3,000 is security deposit and 3,000 is the prepaid rent, right? And because this Maria has prepared only one account, prepaid rent account, for recording both of them, that is why this confusion has been created, right? And I'm not going to add one column here because I want to be consistent across all the 4 sections, because in other 4 sections they have treated this as prepaid rent, and trust me that is not going to change our answer at all, right? At the end of the day,
Yes,
that is
actually
just a
same
prepaid rent.
600.
Sorry.
So it will be the same 6,000, right?
It will be the same thousand. That's why I'm not doing. I'm not recording it as minus 3,000 and plus, because it is going to have a net effect 0 in Excel, or even if you do it in the notebook, right? The net effect is 0. There is another way to understand. I hope I have time. Let me do it this way. Security. Just a second. Can you see the sheet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Let's say that is in June, right? So, okay. I'm just trying to use my imagination. I don't know. It is difficult to do it in Excel. If it is a notebook or board, I can easily draw lines and do this and that and easily explain. Fine. Can I say this 3,000 will become expense here? Right? And deposit is going to stay as deposit. Right? And again, this August in August and I have put wrong months, July and August. Sorry for that. Yes. Now you have again paid 6,000 here. So can I, but 6,000 is also for the month of September, right? So if I draw again, out of the 6,000, 3,000 will become expense. And because it is for the month of September, this is our accounting period. 3,000 would be asset. So we already had 3,000 asset already, and 3,000 again coming from the payment we have made in July and August. So 6,000 is the asset, that is prepaid rent, and 3,000 this is expense of July, and out of the 6,000, 3,000 expense for August. So the total expense is 6,000. Is it easier to understand now? Fine. Sure, Manas, Simrandeep Singh, Dishant, Pradyuman.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Shall I move on?
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I will have to. Yes. So this is explained now. The next transaction, please, we have to be a bit fast because I have to complete this question. Yes. Utility repairs and
Salary.
salaries. Yes. How do we treat this?
So we'll deduct 33,000 from the cash.
So very simple transaction. 33,000 would reduce cash. At the same time, it will also reduce
Retained earnings.
Retained earning, because it is an expense. Expenses are decreasing the equity, and incomes are increasing the equity, but through retained earnings, because the account that which captures here in this case is retained earnings. Next beta, please. Additional. Let me ask someone.
Additional equipment.
Ashi, let me ask Ashi, and then I will ask you. Ashi, please. Ashi, please. Ashi, are you there? Ashi, I don't know how to read the surname. Kalan, I don't know. Ashi, please. Okay, my audio are not working. So just try that. I mean, if you have a laptop, branded laptop, or a particular brand laptop, if you just Google it, in case there is a settings issue, you can sort it out. Please, you have to solve this, because I mean, we have to be very careful. I mean, the instruction has come that if the students do not respond back, you have to give them absent, and they have to start the camera. So please understand this, guys, please. Yes. So let me ask, who was anyways participating? Rajat Singh, please. Rajat Singh.
Yes, sir. So office supplies are bought for rupees 11,000, with 5,500 being paid and 5,500 being payable, account payable. Like.
So you mentioned the wrong account. You mentioned office supplies. These are not office supplies. These are equipment. So you are purchasing equipments. Yes. So the office equipments would go up by 11,000, but you are paying only half in cash. So cash would go down by half. The remaining half is your liability, and there is an account for that. The name of the account is payables for equipment. You can also call it liability. You can call whatever you are comfortable with, but the duality has to get completed. So you see, this is how the duality is completed. You have, let me just navigate this small windows appears on my computer. 11,000 is increased this side, 5,500 deducted this side. So the net effect is 5,500 this side, and the 5,500 on the other side. So duality is getting completed. and you can also see the totals are matching. You can see that here, right? Okay. The next transaction is, I think, can someone read the last three paragraphs starting from as Maria Hernandez thought? May I ask someone who could yes, please.
As Maria thought about the first 2 months operation, she was perplexed by the fact that cash in the bank has decreased by $5,400. Even she was sure that business was operating profitably.
Okay, okay. So then next line, beta, please.
She also wondered how to account for the following. First, she had agreed to pay her father interest on his loan of 6% per year, but no interest had been paid so far.
Okay. Let us deal with this transaction first. Yes, tell me, how do we deal with this transaction? Anyone? Or maybe the same student, I don't know. Please.
So it will be used in accrued for the loan part, the column in the loan, because she'll be paying the 6%, so that's a liability for her.
Even if you have taken the loan from your father, always remember the business is different than the owner, and business is of course different than the father, of course, right? So even when you borrow from your father, if the father is asking for interest, if the credit is given with some interest or some promise, the interest has to be accommodated. You may have paid it, you may not have paid it. Accrual concept says that if the expense belongs to that period, it has to be recorded. So interest on loan is an expense. So how much loan you have taken? 20,000 loan you have taken. You can see the calculation here. 20,000 into 6% into 2 by 12. 12, because we are preparing this statements only for the month of 2 months. So the interest of only 2 months should be captured. So 20,000 into 6% is the interest. So that comes to around 1200, I think. Yes. And 1200 is for the entire 1 year, because 6% per annum is the interest rate. So for 2 months, how much? 200 rupees. So 200 is your expense. You are not paying. So cash would not go down, but it is your expense. So I will record this in the expense column first. I think here minus 200. And because you have not paid, it is your liability. So the liability has to go up. Accrued interest on loan is the account or the column, I would call it 200. And that is how the duality gets completed. Please, if someone has a question, ask me. According to the accrual concept, whether the cash has been paid or not does not matter. The income expenses are recorded. So in this case, interest on loan you have borrowed is an expense. And when it is an expense, it has to be accommodated as an expense, because you need that money to run your business. So all the expenses incurred to earn a revenue has to be recorded, incorporated in those months of operation. And second, because it hasn't been paid, we cannot go to the cash and reduce the cash balance, right? So it is an expense and we have to pay this expense. So it also creates a liability. So the liability is 200. The name of the liability is accrued interest on loan. Right? There is a terminology called accrued and due, but I don't want to discuss that right now because it might confuse a lot of students, right? Yes. Next is, let me ask Arka. Arka, please. Arka, please. Hello. Arka Guha, yes. Please participate, beta. If you could start your camera and participate, please. What is going to happen for the second transaction, beta? The equipment and softwares are working out well, yes. Do you have a computer issue, Arka?
Sir, he has some network issue.
Yes, thank you, beta. Joyson Raju, I don't know how to, I hope I was right in reading your name. Joyson Raju, I think.
Yes, sir.
Can you read the second transaction after the second transaction, of course, the equipment wala. Yes, if you could read and help me understand, yes.
Yes, the equipment and software were working out well. but Hernandez knew that they had a technological life of no more than 3 years from the time she had purchased them. So when she had purchased them, so after that, after 3 years, their life will uh, end up. So she has to replace them after 3 years.
Fine. So what is going to be the effect on our this accounting equation? Shikhar, you had also requested earlier. I think Shikhar, why don't you give it a try? In the meantime, Joyson has
Yes, sir.
participated. If you could participate, because I have to give you a chance, right? Yes.
So it is written in the question that equipment and software were working out well, but Hernandez knew that they had a technological life of no more than 3 years, and
Yes.
she had the value of equipment and software of 27,000, and
Yes. Yes.
she needs to depreciate on them by 33.33% per year, which is around 9,000 per year.
Right, wonderful, right? So once again, especially those non-commerce, those who do not have an accounting background, of course, now all of you have accounting background because you have gone through the remedial sessions, but still I'm just for the sake of, so that everyone is on the same page, understand the same argument, right? Can you really have a business without this equipment and softwares? No. And you are using this. So every time you use the equipment and softwares, the value goes down because you are consuming it, because of wear and tear, because of maybe consumption of the asset. So in this case, the computers and all this have a life of 3 years, not more than 3 years, right? So when the life is of 3 years, can I say 1/3 is the amount consumed every year, right? So in this case, we are preparing the financial statements or this accounting equation statement for only 2 months. So let us cover this as an expense for only 2 months. So the depreciation is the name of this expense, because we are consuming when the value of the asset goes down because of wear and tear. Fixed assets value goes down because of wear and tear, or a lot of other reasons. It is called depreciation. The value of the asset is 27,000 divided by 3 years. So you get 1 year value. And because you are preparing this for only 2 months, divided by 12 into 2. So you have 2 months depreciation. That comes to how much? Let me see the answer. I don't want to do
1,500, sir.
1,500.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes. So quick. Thank you so much. 1,500 is the depreciation value. And at the same time, it is an expense. So it will go down by the retained earnings would go down by 1,500. So this is where our question ends, in fact. All right. Now she knows her position. If you see, after 2 months of business, she has cash 6,600. She has
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
please ask me, beta.
Sir, we also purchased equipment on 27th of August. So, for
That is
4 days.
accommodated, right? That is 11,000 is recorded. See, beta. Okay.
सर कोई depreciation charge नहीं होगा इस पे equipment पे
No,
because
because so let us assume one thing. It was used for not more than 2-3 days. That's why we are not going to accommodate. We are ignoring 2-3 days. Materiality concept, because 2-3 days are not going to be that material for running the business, right? Right. That is what I am assuming. Fine. Good question, Shreya. Good question. Yes. So you see, at the end of 31st August, we have 6,600 worth of cash. The equipment and softwares are 36,500. Office supplies are 4,200. Accounts receivables are 7,000. Prepaid rent is 6,000. So the total is 60,300. And so company business has a resources of 60,300. Out of that, 34,600 belongs to the owners, and 5,500 plus 200 plus 20,000, that comes to around 25,700, is because of the outsiders. So they have a claim to that extent, 25,700, right? So imagine that you have a room full of assets. So if I ask you a question, ये किसका है, वो किसका है, so the outsiders will say ये मेरा है, and the owners would say this is my claim in my business. So the business have all the resources, and the question is who controls what, who has claim over what. So the outsiders claim is called liabilities, and the owner's claim is called equity, right? And I want to show you the income statement balance sheet, or I want to give you the glimpse of income statement balance sheet. So what I have done, there is an asset side, there is a liabilities and equity side. This is how the balance sheet is generally prepared at the end of every period, right? Could be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, right? So all the assets are transferred on one side. So you know all these assets are there, right? All these assets are there. They are transferred on one side, and all the equities and liabilities are transferred on the other side, and they match. And when I'm recording assets and liabilities, I classify the assets as non-current assets and current assets. And now you know the definition of current assets and non-current assets. The assets which get converted into cash within 1 year time are current assets, and the assets which stays in the business for longer than 1 year are non-current assets. The claim of outsiders is called liability. The liability can again be divided into two parts, non-current and current, and the remaining is equity, and equity is made up of capital and retained earnings. So when you see the total is matching. Now this is a very simple income statement. I am not focusing on, especially for commerce student, gross profit and all that. I'm not putting that right now, just not to bother everyone in the same session, right? So you see revenues are written first in the income statement. I should write down income statement somewhere. I forgot to mention the title of this statement. Just a second. I should say income statement or statement of profit and loss. Yes. So revenue is written first and all the expenses are deducted. I don't know why this 200 are not captured here. Let me just see. There is a formula issue or what? Okay. Yeah. So still there is some problem. Consumption of supplies. I don't know, because of formulas. I think this happened. The supplies. Yeah. Yes. So all the revenues and expenses. So revenues minus expenses. So the total of all the expenses 42,400 and the revenue is 47,000. Matlab during these 2 months, aapne itna kamaya. You have earned a worth of 47,000, and at the same time you have incurred expenses worth of 42,400. Did not be in cash, right? Accrual concept. So the 4,600 is the profit you have made during this 2 months time. That is return earning, you see. Because I have used formulas, I did not have to work hard on preparing this statement, but fine, right? Sure, everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we have 5 minutes time, so you can ask me questions, please. So once again, I will repeat. Dishant is having a cup of tea or coffee alone. I don't know. You should not do this. In fact, the rule of the classroom rule is first that you should not have anything in the classroom. When you are in the classroom, I don't know what is the rule for the virtual classroom. Fine. So Dishant, when you come back to Ahmedabad or when you come to Ahmedabad, please bring tea and coffee also for all of us, huh?
Sir, I am from Ahmedabad.
So you can bring anytime you want, right? So yes, anyone has any questions?
Sir, we
yes,
have
yes.
some doubts in the FAR assignment, I guess.
Share your doubt, please. Share your doubt, Padmapriya. Yes.
So, firstly, since all the information is factual, what is the amount of plagiarism allowed?
See, you are not supposed to copy paste the entire text, and you are going to write it.
Sir, but then if you put if you directly have to put facts about profit before tax and all, it's just going to completely light up like a Christmas tree.
No, for that I think see, profit is called profit in every annual report you see. So for those small, see, 3 to 4s at a time could be same. Understand, that is not never counted as plagiarism, right? When I'm doing a research, let's say, and I'm adding the word payables for equipment, that is same in every books of account. So that is, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Plagiarism generally it is around not more than 10%. But for this, I'm telling you, we are going to ignore this. Right? We are going to
Okay,
ignore this. Don't worry.
And even the news questions, right? The history of news articles.
Yes. And second, we have a quiz on this Monday. I don't want to forget. I hope all the students are there, including the PhD students. Right? We have exam quiz. Please expect the quiz on this Monday. We may mail you. I don't know. I have to talk to the other faculty. But you keep on expecting that on Moodle this Monday. I'll put up a message in the WhatsApp group in case some changes are there, right? Yes,
Sir, what is the syllabus for the test?
Syllabus, whatever we have covered so far.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So will it be objective or subjective?
That I have to discuss with the faculty, and so in case he's telling me what I can share, because I don't want to be unfair to other class students. If the faculty is not sharing with the other students, I cannot. So let me talk to him, and I will communicate that to you through mail or through WhatsApp or WhatsApp group. So please stay active in WhatsApp group, and in case you have any question, you can ask me in person, and you can also ask me in the group. Fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You can take the yes. Anything?
Considering like we would have, it's probably going to be objective. I'm just speculating.
Yes.
So whatever your decision is, but if we could have a couple of sample questions to be able to figure out what sort of questions will be coming, because we've never faced a objective or a subjective online test of accounts.
So let me talk again. I will not promise anything. Let me talk.
I understand, but it would just really help us figure out how to go about studying.
So if I'm doing that, let's say if I'm adding 2-3 questions or something just for as a mock test or something,
that would be very helpful.
So if I'm doing that, I'm so sorry, I cannot promise right now, but I will inform you over the WhatsApp group that I'm uploading a mock test or something. Please participate. And guys, you have a very good textbook. In fact, this is a very good textbook. So at the back of the textbook, you may have some questions, right? So in case you want to know what kind of questions may come, right? The objective questions, right? That's it, guys. Anything else you want to ask me? Because there is still 1 minute to go, please.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, in this question, sir, this is a given fact that cash in bank had decreased by 5,400. So, sir, what is the use of that?
The use of that is that she was wondering what happens with this 5,400 because she does not have an accounting background. She is like, see, it is like this. If someone tells me, if someone talks about space science, right, it's a magic for me, right, because I do not understand that science, right? So similarly for her, because she does not have a background, she was wondering what happened with this 5,400 because she believed that she is doing amazing as a businessman. But cash should go up from 12,000. Why cash is not going up, rather going down? Because of accruals, because she has purchased assets in cash, and also because of accruals. Lot of expenses are incorporated, or a lot of revenue is there, but she has not received in cash. The live example is the 7,000, right? Accounts receivable went up by 7,000. That she has not received, but the income is there, right? So, and she is going to receive after August, maybe in September or October, right? So because of accrual, so this is the learning for her, that accounting profit does not mean cash. And second, that when you are running business, on a lot of occasions you may not receive cash right away when you are running the business, and that may affect that may create credit crunch for you, right? Fine, beta?
I have two more questions.
Yes, please.
Firstly, the format that you've given for the assignment, are we supposed to only answer those questions or put in anything extra apart from those?
There is a question with 3 marks, I think, where they are expecting, where I'm expecting something unique, right? If I remember correctly.
Can we change the template of it to make it look better or anything like that?
You're talking about what? You're talking about
the assignment.
So there is a template for assignment
that you've uploaded. Do we just have to fill it up in that worksheet itself, or do we have to create a separate document?
You can create a separate document. Just follow the guidelines. It mentions that the first page should have your name, roll number, everything, so that when we are evaluating, it becomes easier for us to right. It is there, right? It is there. So maybe on the same page, adding pages to that sheet. I think if it is PDF, then you cannot add pages. That is another challenge, right? If it is PDF, then you will have to combine or join PDFs, right? So that could create some effort, right? Akash Patel, please ask me. Yogesh, should we reduce 5 days depreciation? Why 5 days depreciation you are asking, beta? Again, materiality concept, right? That is immaterial. The depreciation of 5 days here and there would not really change the how you run the business, right? So you're talking about 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That is, someone had asked and I have replied, materiality concept, right? And we do not even know whether the asset was put in place for using it, right? Because it takes time to use the asset. So I'm ignoring that because of materiality concept. Yes.
This format that you've used in the current class, this is not going to come in the exam, right? This particular format.
Which format, beta?
This is only the current Excel sheet that you have opened. The examination will follow the Indian standard format, right, for accounts? Just confirming.
No, so I will come back to you because I have not even prepared the quiz yet. I will prepare today maybe.
Okay.
So I do not know, but it's fine. Balance sheet could have asset on this left side and this right side. Fine. I know commerce students would not like this in some cases because they write asset on the right side and all that.
Yeah.
In America, assets are allowed. They are recording assets on the left hand side, and generally we have a vertical format. But this accounting equation is even in India, it is fine, beta. In India also, accounting equation is taught nowadays in 12th, 11th and 12th.
Accounting equations are fine, but then it's like relearning a whole format now.
I know. Especially for those who know the concept. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
And
Fine. Yes. Ask me. I'm there.
That's it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you can ask me in case you cannot ask me in the class. You can always message me in person.
Please consider some sample questions, sir.
I will definitely. When I'm saying, I will definitely think about it. I have to but talk to the faculty. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you learned something new. You understood this question. And in the next class, maybe if you have a question, I'll take the question and I'll start discussing Camelite case and I'll upload the case today or tomorrow. So please come prepared. Do not use excuse or anything. I'm not saying please, but 2 pages are not many. So please, guys, I'm requesting you. Please come prepared. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I will end the.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I will end. Thank you.